Hello, everyone. It is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not watching the Super Bowl, instead I'm sitting back here working on new projects and recording a fun questions video. So, onwards. Question number 1. Do you remember your earliest exposure to art and how it made you feel? Art has always been in my life. There's a ton of pictures of me as a toddler working on projects and just painting, creating, just whatever I could. Mom and dad always supplied me with whatever art stuff I wanted, needed. So I mean, it's always been kind of in my life. I mean, even when I was little, I was one of those kids running around with a Barbie camera that worked on Windows 98. So, I mean, it's always been there. So, number 2, show us a piece of art you have created that you are particularly proud of. One of my favorite things was actually in last year's watercolor class. And it's something I haven't been able to get over. Usually when I do a painting or something or drawing, photograph, anything, I try to top myself. I really try to make better. But I didn't this time, and I just love it. And I actually made it into my profile picture on Facebook again for a second time. And it technically is a self-portrait, in all honesty, because that's kind of how I feel. Not necessarily how I am, on the inside. It's just, my emotional status. I've kind of got this, rough, fighting edge to everything, yet this, incorporating, a little bit of sass, almost. So, number 3, inspiration. From whom or what do you pull inspiration from? Okay, my inspiration comes really randomly. It can be from other photographers around me or just things I see on a regular basis. Typically, it's things I encounter on a regular basis, and I also pull a lot of inspiration from music. So I always look at my emotional state and how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, and then turning that into artwork or incorporating that into photography. Lately, a lot of my photography has been getting darker, more intense, and I've honestly felt that way as a person, that I'm getting more intense and more into my work and just kind of digging deep into it. Number 4, do you consider your art to fit a specific style? If so, what style? And if not, why? I am in a very weird place with that right now. I am technically an artistic fashion photographer. That is where I am. But with my work, it's a bit dark. There's always something haunting or emotional or intense or different about it. It's not like you can go pick up a magazine and that's what you see. I mean, I'm starting to get published in magazines and whatnot, but not necessarily because I just fit in. It's something new. It's something different. And I mean, sometimes I am capable of making the traditional editorial, but not anymore. And it's just, I've never focused on trying to fit in with a publication. I've always just went with it. Maybe they'll like this kind of a thing. So, number 5, how do you come up with specific themes for your particular shoots? Themes are supplied by magazines, but it's so much more how you interpret the theme than I never just pick up a theme and shoot for the theme unless it's something that I love, I can connect to, or is part of me. I can't just be oh, I need to do a neon colored beauty editorial and come up with that. It just doesn't happen that way. It's more of they'll often give me their theme list and say hey, we're looking for this, and then I go back in and I try to see if there's something inside of my brain that would work, as opposed to making molding myself to fit them. I find publications that fit me and my style. So, number 6, do you have any tips for artists who are trying to be published? Okay, literally what I just said. Do not mush yourself or cut yourself down to whatever the publication wants. Try to, make yourself, find a publication you fit in instead of fitting yourself into a publication. Number 7, what is your most important tool and why? My most important tool is probably just myself. And I say that because, you can always pick up any camera body and do what you do. You can pick up any paintbrush. It's really what you're capable of doing. It's not necessarily like the equipment. Equipment is just a bonus. And I wasn't going to put theme music with this video, but my alarm's going off and I don't feel like interrupting it to go shut it off. Number 8. What is your favorite element to work with and why? I don't even know. I love working with so many different kinds of elements and things because there's such a different, it depends on your mood, it depends on what you want to create. And my 2 big things right now are drawing and photography. Pencil has always been my favorite, but it's limited. You can't with photography, it's not just your camera, it's your computer, it's your equipment, it's everything you can make out of it instead of just being whatever. So I love the emotion you can convey using other people as opposed to creating a person. 9. What is the bane of your existence when you are working? Well, my have and have nots of working is when I am working, I just cannot be interrupted. I have to be, I get into such a zone and such a focus, and it's like I switch personalities, especially when I go to just pick up the camera and I'm shooting, and I just begin running the images through my head of what I want to get out of this shoot. It's not just clicking the camera for the hell of it. So that's one big thing. And the things I hate are when if I am picturing something in my head and I cannot convey it through the person, it's I just kind of shut down. I kind of lose a huge amount of that. And that does happen. It surprisingly does happen. Number 10, do you have a studio or place that is your place where you feel the most comfortable and in control? If so, what/where is this place and what makes it special and significant to you? Okay, this is a really shitty question because I just lost my place. I lost my studio. And it's not okay. I am in a panic right now because I lost that place. That the studio was, a heated, abandoned building that was, has a wonderful, interesting history. And I just always, when I go to shoot in the studio, I know it's going to be brilliant. The lighting up there with the wave glass windows and barred windows, it's just magical. It just has this feel to it, this vibe to it that is it just automatically intensifies whatever's going on. But before I lost the studio, I did go back and document it as well as I could, and it is being published. I have a studio shot in Vogue. I have a studio shot in Vintage magazine. And also my Unlikely Twins editorial being published on February 20th of this month with Gothesque magazine is indeed with the studio. So it is, permanently in place, permanently remembered. So right now, I did get a new farmhouse, but it's very limited as to what I can do with it. It is very, not safe, not stable, I would say, and I don't know, I've made some magic in it. My latest editorial that I just submitted yesterday, Gothic Royalty, and it's titled Ruin. And Ruin is, it's interesting because I know the story. I know the family who lived in the farmhouse before it was abandoned, and it's just like a little more personal that way. And it kind of brings that you know who lived there place. And with the studio, you don't know who lived there. You don't know what it was. So you got to create that. You got to create that mystery. And with this place, it's so defined. There's so many like bold colors everywhere and checkerboard flooring and green carpet and all these things that are like so obnoxious. You can't create. You have to really have strong models, strong people to overpower that. In the studio, it was more of the location welcomed the people. You felt comfortable. You were able to like break free from that. And in this house, it's like you are in a very uncomfortable place. You are in a very like, I don't know what's happening. The floor's moving. There's nails everywhere. There's boards. Oh, there's a raccoon upstairs. You know, you're in this uncomfortable place, and you have to be dark and intimidating. So for my first formal shoot there, I took Brittany and Liz, and I knew that those two would have that intimidating factor, and they really did. And that project turned out beyond wonderful. And I'm still waiting to hear back on if that will be published or not. And I should be hearing back within the next 2 weeks. So it's a waiting game right now for that. But other than that, I'm just trying to find more places. Like, I'm trying to branch out more. So I have a few leads right now, but I'm not quite there yet. So, last question, number 11. Before I leave, can you give us a sneak peek or spoiler teaser, something to come? Okay, this is like the most exciting part because right now I definitely have three very huge and awesome projects on the horizon. My first one, I'm actually doing a test shoot, like after I get done recording this video, and this test shoot is going to be testing special effects for an upcoming cyberpunk neo-futurism project, which is like very different for me. And I'm actually going to be incorporating my art skills, like 2D art skills, with my photography to create this like supernatural, intense world, and I'm very, very excited for it. So, I mean, like, I get to go over to Edgar and shoot that, like, soon. Very soon. And then yesterday, I was also crawling around our school's abandoned theater, and I got permission to use the Renaissance costumes in there, and they are, like, literally hand-sewn fur capes and gowns, and I may be using all 3 of my mains for this Renaissance project, and I have no idea where that's going. I have no idea where that's going, but I do have sources where it would fit in, and it could just be really cool. Like, I just want to do it. And in the winter, in the snow, in the woods, I have a giant forest I can use. So, that is going to be amazing. And then my last, basically top secret thing in development is I was handed a Gatsby theme. I just got word in on a Gatsby theme, and like, I mean, Gatsby themed, and I actually have a new man coming along with one of my best people to be working in that theme, so that's going to be really exciting. Like, I just have like a lot going on right now, and this whole test shoot for the cyber will actually be released very soon, and the test isn't going anywhere unless the test somehow is magically as badass as what I expect the main shoot to be. So, just like really looking forward to that later. But other than that, I mean, that's my big projects right now, and I'm working on costuming for Gatsby and then this test. So that is my main big things happening. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to like not being lazy on this Sunday, because I mean, I haven't put on makeup since the term started, and I really should start doing that again. And I am laying here in sweats because I can. So anyways, goodbye for now. Onward until the next time.